Hello, everybody! Welcome back, Space Engineers. I've done some work. I finished this thing off. Sounds wrong. I did notice. So when it was incomplete, you guys have mentioned this. So having incomplete blocks take up or use up more triangles than completed blocks, at least for armor blocks, I believe. So when I was building them, if you go here, you can see how many triangles are in your build. And well, actually, it's back up. It was at 70, and that went down to like 40,000. That's gone back up, probably when I added all the lights and stuff, because they have quite a high poly count as well. So yeah, it's working. Lights aren't perfect. And we got Molar working, which, well, no, he's stuck. She's stuck. She. We'll take a look. So here it is. I didn't change too much, kept it mostly the same. I had thought about changing it. I thought about maybe instead of having one fin in the middle, we could have two fins kind of diagonal out. And then the same going on the other sides. And then the ore could either get stuck in this part, or it would be stuck down the middle and shoot off. But this is working really well, and I don't feel the need to change it. And you can see Molar is indeed ejecting again. So I did do a test in a creative world to see what the drills do when they are full. If they indeed destroy ores, or just let them fall down in front of you. It seems to do both. I got about half the ores if the drills were full. Some of the ore dropped, but it looked like about half of it was indeed getting destroyed. So it looks like ejecting is the way to go, and a necessity, unfortunately. I have added in some more ejectors, as you can see. His sensor's going mad. I'll try to figure out what's wrong with them in a second here. So we've got 6 ejectors there and a connector. I don't think that is enough, though. I added a couple more ejectors up there, which I'm not too fond of the look of, but it seemed like a decent place for them. Before I had more ejectors up here to the side of the cameras and all along the bottom. I don't know if I'll put those back, but we'll see. I think we'll have to just kind of monitor them and see what's necessary. So what are you doing, Molar? Okay, let's turn on all of his sensors. I did some changes to his sensors. So we can go over that. Sensors. Okay, he's hitting a piece of asteroid above him, I think. Is that what he's doing? Yeah, he's hitting this thing. So he's trying to tilt up, because this asteroid is in this field. And these are the fields I changed. Maybe not for the best. So he tilts up, and then he's out of the asteroid, so he tries to tilt down again, and then he gets there, so he tries to tilt up again. So I might need to decrease the height of that to only affect areas that he would actually be able to hit with his drill. I've also increased a lot of his other fields, but I also switched a bunch around. Okay, so this one you see that's going straight out right here used to be his tilt down. Or no, used to be his tilt up, actually. This one here used to be his tilt up. Now it's his tilt down. So I tried to get that tilt down sensor as high up as I could. And that sensor is located right where my cursor is, I think. Or maybe it's up there. Somewhere around here. It's in the center of this line anyway. So this allows him to dig in deeper, which is good. Those ones on the side are just his tilts. And this big one down here is his drive forward and turn on his drills. So what that's supposed to do is make it so he's not likely to stop like he has now. And if it wasn't for this piece of rock right here, he would keep going. So I'm going to decrease his tilt up. That might not actually be necessary to have it that high. I had increased it at one point to try to compensate for something. I think that is one I added in that was missing, that got broken off, but we're not using, so it's a spare. But I did incorporate one of the new spares. So essentially I had a center spare, which I think I converted to the forward one, or maybe the up one. I think I'm using one of the back ones for the tilt up. And then the most upper one I'm using for tilt down, which I think is best. So tilt up, here we go. Top extend, maybe I bring it down a bit. And he should go. Let's try keeping it down just there. So that's supposed to prevent him from like tunneling into things, right? So that if he hits something, as soon as there's an asteroid here, he's supposed to tilt up. There's this other box behind there, and what this one does is I used to have it so the thrusters would turn off when he tilted up. That doesn't happen anymore. It's not supposed to, assuming I did it right. So instead, This first field will only start him tilting. But if he starts to go too far in and the asteroid hits this field, then he's going to stop driving forward and continue to tilt up. And now I don't know what you're doing. You seem to be hung up on something. Oh, there's a new update. So we got the zoom in function of the camera. I want to check that out maybe in a bit here. A bit further, experiment with it. We got drill shake back. I don't have it enabled. I forgot to enable it, but I probably will. What are you doing, Molar? Why aren't you running? Okay, let's just give him a stop and a go, because he was actually running when I logged in, or when I loaded up the game. So maybe we'll give him a fresh start. And I had him running for quite a while. He ran for the whole cycle, the 1 hour cycle, and provided us with lots of ores, actually. If we go to our mobile base, assuming it's not all processed yet. Let's see here. Iron ore, cargo. Yeah, we got a full iron. Our cargo is full of iron. And what are we doing for ingots? 2 words. Iron, ingot, cargo. We are out of iron cargo, which means I'm probably got something. Yeah, I've been making lots of steel plates too, and it took quite a bit to do this Grav Ball. Although, as Tillion mentioned, it doesn't much look like a Grav Ball anymore. How are we doing for steel plates? Decent. Decent enough. I won't go very far with heavy armor, but for most of our builds it should be good. Alright, Molar. Let's send you off, but you're kind of about to go into a different part of the cave, so let's bring you back. You could just move me out of the way. That'd be great. Okay. And we can look around. Okay. Good enough. And away he goes. So let's go ahead and ride her for a little while. Sounds wrong too. Everything can be sexual. Okay, there we go. So let's see what happens here. So here, he's kind of shaking about a bit. I increased some of the gyros too, so it might be a bit more jaggedy actioned. But you can see that he's actually drilling at the top height now, which is kind of nice. So if there's asteroid in that top part, he's not going to tilt down. And I have it going pretty far ahead because I thought it might be better in here to prevent him from almost doing what he just did, going into other caverns like that. If I have it far enough ahead, he can skim over some holes and stuff like that, like he's kind of doing right now. He's just kind of coasting across. And what that would hopefully do is kind of keep it... It'll smooth out the area, I think, over time. If I shortened it, he would go up and down a lot more and contour to the edges of the asteroid. And that could cause problems. Or it'd just get kind of more and more jaggedy. Where this, he should smooth it out over time. But he does do this kind of stuff where he just goes whee and coasts across. And what else did they add in the update? Oh, there's particle effects, which are kind of neat. They look a little wonky right now, but I mean it's the first implementation of them. I actually haven't seen them in game. I've only seen them in the video, so maybe I don't know if we have anything that could cause damage. Why don't we load up a gun? Make me a gun, would you? I don't have a gun. Do I have enough to make a gun? I do. Do I have enough to make ammo for a gun? Make 10. Make 20. There we go. There goes our frames. So what we should do, so to monitor this, I want to see him when he's going at a pretty good rate. Like right now, he's mining, it's pretty deep. So he's probably getting a decent rate of ores. So if we look at his cargo container, what we want to see is this number getting smaller. And you can see it's kind of slowly getting bigger. I think overall it might work out okay though, because there's times when he's coasting across, or if he's not running that long, like if he doesn't run long enough to fill up his inventory, he'll continue ejecting afterwards until it's empty. So that might be okay. But yeah, you can see it's getting full. So I think an issue might be though if ejector, is if a drill gets full and isn't able to push its contents anywhere, then it might start doing that destroying ore with the 50% choice. It is odd. So the reason I didn't think it did destroy ores is because when you're typically mining, you just get those little ores, right? Those little specks of stuff. But if your inventory's full, it starts dropping the big stuff, which normally you poop out. So it seemed like it was indeed ejecting. Okay, so here's a rare circumstance where he ran out of asteroid below him. I think what we should do then, because that's happened twice now, and there seems to be quite a bunch of deep caverns, is we're going to lower that even more. Is that front extend? Doesn't seem like it should be front extend. No, that is front. Okay, so it is, oh, there he goes. Is it top? I think it's top that's down for this guy. I'm not sure, though. Did I do it? Yeah, looks right. Let's get off. Let's see here. So as long as there's asteroid basically below him, he should go forward. I think that's probably good. Because what that means is he'll continue driving forward, and then if there isn't any asteroid in front of him, he's going to tilt down. So if he's detecting asteroid below him, and there isn't anything in front of him, and he starts tilting down, likelihood he's going to find that asteroid that he's detecting. So that's probably for the best. I also made a small change to his program, so thank you, Pilot Error. You kind of told me, indeed, what I did was stupid, but in a nice, politer way. But basically, he said I could replace everything I had with just basically this part here. So I don't need to do the whole renaming thing or look for a specific block with that name. This just changes all the blocks with that name, I think, or sets them all. So that's good. And I have them set to go at 1 meter per second. And I tried to make this display the speed, but I don't know what this is actually displaying. Speed equals math, blah, blah, blah. Because it's providing this value, but this clearly isn't his speed, so... But I got rid of some of the span that program block was causing, because I didn't like how it went to different lines. And Pilot Error kind of mentioned that was probably just for like debugging purposes and stuff like that. So not really necessary for Molar. But I think this will work for the time being. And... yeah. So everything down here is working really well, I think. This thing, I mean, stuff just hits it, falls down. It's a little wonky here. I still have this little... entrance. I was tempted to just close it up, really. But decided we don't really need to have the ores going down in there. And someone actually mentioned making another gravity field as like a little bit of a shield. So I did throw a third one in there. It's off at the moment. And if we want to do that, or if I found like we needed to do it, like if stuff was getting stuck in places, like maybe up there, I don't know, then we could use that gravity to help kind of push them out laterally and then back this way. But yeah, things seem to be working really well. And then I added this little stem here, because I figured if stuff's... it's best if it just hits something. Because once it hits something, it changes direction and stays direction. Where otherwise, ores could kind of go... look at this gold, it's beautiful. Like the ores going down here, right? They can kind of lob down and then they come back up. Where the ones that hit the post kind of go straight. And I added in an ore detector. Not that it's really needed. But there we go. Molar, in the interest of frame rate, I'm going to have to stop you. Objective complete. And then we'll let this ore go out, and then we'll turn it off. I was wondering if maybe we should set up like some sensors that could be looking in all directions. And basically looking for floating objects. So if there's a floating object, the gravity turns on. So once we turn Molar on, the gravity thing should turn on. And I think that might be good. Whoa, that's crazy. Woo! Some weird lighting effects. Like sometimes it's really bright in here. I don't know if it's from adding those lights, but I've noticed this before, even without this structure here. Sometimes you can see. I can see! Okay, we should be... oh, he's going to poop for a while, so let's let that happen. Oh, actually, let's bring Tortwing out of here. Tortwing! Oh god, don't kill me. But yeah, this is working a lot better than before. It is big, but that's okay. We could potentially still move it, but I had actually thought, Tillion, of putting drills on the front all along this edge. So technically it could drill in. And then you could have it on a like a rotor or something attached to the station and extend it down. And actually you could drill a hole the size of this thing, maybe by slowly rotating it around as you drill. But that would be cool. I think, but for now, this is. If we ever have to put it to another asteroid, we could possibly do that. Projector would work as well. The only thing is it takes so much time and resources to build it. It might actually be easier to move it. I'm not sure. Tortwing, there you are. So this episode is going to be fairly low key, guys. We're not going to be doing too much. Not feeling overly great, but well enough to hang out a little bit, and chat. And, yeah, so I spent some time yesterday basically doing all this. Finished welding that, which required multiple trips up here to get more ores, or more steel plates. Oh god. My proximity warning was telling me that I was about to do that. Not that I can really tell which part of my ship is close. All I know is part of it is close. Oh wow, this is like my worst flight out of here. Alright, so up here, there are more issues, I guess. It's not working as smoothly up here, but it's still working relatively well enough, I think. But you can see these are the odd ore getting stuck. And there's some damage there. I think one of those big iron chunks made it up here. Well, I know it did because it was sitting right here. And it wasn't able to fit in the hole. But it looks like it caused some damage. But for the most part, it seems to be working. But yeah, there you can see some stuff's getting stuck. But there's supposed to be armor there anyway. And then I think right here is kind of the problem area. Where a lot of stuff is getting accumulated. And we could probably account for that by providing this, make this more of a ditch for ores to go back into the shaft. So if ores get into this area, they just get sent back in. That's probably the way to go. The only issue with that is I've put the gravity gen on this block. So to slant them in, I might need to slant... I don't know, it almost seems like I should go lower to slant them in, but then the gravity gen wouldn't be attached to anything. Maybe we could try attaching it to glass or maybe a catwalk. Alright, so one thing I want to try with Tortwing, let's find something that is just outside our render distance. And I am still getting pretty poor frames because all those items, a bunch are still lingering around. Oh! Why did you disappear? Okay. So this guy we cannot see. Can we see if we zoom? No. Okay. Didn't think so, but I wanted to see for sure. I wasn't sure if it was like physically moving you in the... or where you were. Not like you, but like the camera. And that could physically load objects further away. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Why don't we fly forward until we see him in the camera? And then we'll fly backwards. But yeah, you still might be able to use it to scout, though, which I do like. Oh, wow. Look at that. And for cargo ships, it will be very handy, I think, because you could actually zoom in to shoot using a camera. So that'll be fun. And I do want to make a fighter here soon. Okay, so there we go. There it is. Come to a stop. We'll back up until it disappears again. I'm not hitting backwards. It's like, why aren't we moving? Yeah. So it's really just zooming in. Whee! Go figure, the zoom is a zoom. Cool. I like it. And you can still cycle through... Oh no, it's not doing it now. Maybe it only does it... Hang on. I was looking through Molar's cameras earlier today when I did that. If you cycle using the bracket keys, you can cycle through your cameras. Which one are you? Oh, the front one? But I was looking through Molar's. Oh, there we go. So is it a proximity thing? How close are we to Molar? Sensor... MAM... Whoa. Sensitivity... Molar? Why don't I see Molar? He must be... Oh, there he is. He's in that blob. He's about 300 away. What's my antenna set to? Right, it's not called antenna. I did do this for a second, but if you do that, it shows antenna and then the ship name, which I didn't like, so I undid that, because I think I mentioned in an episode that I was going to do that instead, but I decided not to. 500, so maybe it's... Okay. Is that dependent on 500? Can you remote... You basically can remote control into any cameras in the area, it seems, using those keys. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know. Okay. So you have to be in a camera, I guess. Yeah, still Molar. Now he's 600 away. So when we get 1,000 away, we should get kicked out. And we can see over to the left-hand side of the screen above the no gravity. We're at 900 meters. And we're getting up to 1,000. It might not happen exactly at 1,000, but if it happens roughly, then we know. Yeah. Okay. That I didn't know. So interesting. So maybe that isn't actually a bug, but more of a feature. Or maybe an unintended feature. But I haven't heard of that before. Maybe you guys have, but that is interesting. So it could mean you could just have like a camera set up, and then you could cycle through all your cameras that are in range. Now there was an error where it used to do it in here, I think, because I remember we were using the control panel, but now it exits you out of the control panel. So that has changed. Anyway, all right. Where's the other camera? Where's this front camera? It's not on my hotbar. This one. We're zoomed in. There we go. Alright. Let's grab those guns. I want to check out this update. Maybe we'll shoot some stuff. I don't know where they'd go. Would they end up in the other with the sorting? Whoop. Alright, so we talked about also bringing Skimmer back to life, or not back to life, to existence, period. So I would like to do that, and if you guys have any suggestions on how we should bring him back, because I'm not too keen on just loading up the blueprint and welding him with a welding chip. I'd rather do something fun, like bringing a Molar back to life through the repair bay was fun. What am I doing? It's called a rifle? It's called automatic rifle. Give me my ammo. Could also put a gun on Chip, maybe. I do want to arm him, but I don't think he would do very good in a fight because he's pretty sluggish. Okay, so why don't we shoot a reactor, because that could be fun. Give me my gun. I've rarely used these guns, to be honest, in the game. Alright. So when it goes below the red line, I think, right? It should start to get green smoke. Die! I don't know if it, like, harms you. It's supposed to be, like, what's supposed to be leaking. Oops. How are you doing? Oh, wow. This may take a while. What if I grind it down and then shoot it past the line? Now, we might destroy some parts doing this. That's okay. There we go. It's green and gooey. It's like slime. Can I fit through here? I can. Suck it. What happens if I try to move? Like, moves me around. Can I roll my way out? No. I can make you sick, though, probably. Alright, that's interesting. I like the idea of it all. That actually doesn't look too bad. Alright. Fix. Of course we can't. Torchwing. Come to me. Fix my reactor. Also sounds like something's struggling, doesn't it? Oh, it's probably assemblers out of parts, maybe? Doesn't sound like low power. I don't think. We do have our welders on, correct? There's that camera. Was 5 always there? Or was I on a different page? I'm guessing 5 is always there. Or I was in the cockpit, not remote. Ha! That's why it was different. I figured it out. You are probably in the way. Whack. That didn't work. Closer. Out of my way. Why can't I push you? Which camera am I in? His right one? Or his left? Anyway. Maybe I'm in his right. I thought I was in his left. Do it. Perfect. I have also put the welding speed back down. I might put it back up, depending on what we're working on. If we're ever welding a small ship in like there, I'll turn it back on. If we're welding a lot of heavy armor. Or if I feel like the issue with welders is slowing me down more than it should by having like blocks in proximity. So like right now, he's trying to weld, well he's trying to weld the reactor, but he's also in range of these assemblers. Even though these assemblers are done, some of his speed is going to these guys. And probably this guy as well. So anything that was in range, right? Like that stuff on his coupling. So that's kind of silly. Hopefully that gets changed. But it might just be a side effect of how things work. What else sparks happen? I want to see sparks. Antenna. Antenna does sparks. Electrical little things. And then the thrusters does some stuff too. So why don't we do all those? Ah. I'm not sure all the things that are affected. I think turrets. So it should be nice to, yeah, be able to tell what you've damaged a little bit easier if you've disabled the turret and whatnot. It's kind of cool. Again, does it damage? Nope. Okay, I wasn't sure what it looked like. I wasn't sure if they were, because it almost looked like sprites in the video, like 2D sprites. Maybe they are, actually. They just always are in front of you, like sprites normally are. That might be how they... I imagine that should be good for performance. I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cartoony, though, in a sense, too. But it's first implementation, and I'm sure it will get tweaked and stuff. But I think the idea is good. At least some kind of indication that things are damaged is a good idea. So, yeah, Skimmer. How should we bring him back? I have a thought. I don't think I have any thruster stuff in him. Yeah. How many can I carry? Or do I have any on me? From... Nope. Do we need the gun anymore? I don't think so. 35? Is that enough? Don't kill me. What? Welders. What happened to your sensor? Torchwing, you're not supposed to be able to kill me. I'm your master. How dare you? What happened? Is his sensor off? Interesting. Or did I... Let's take a look at the toolbar. No, it is a group. It does have sensors. Oops. Sensor. Welder sensor. Torchwing sensor, right? Right welder. Okay, that's the right sensor. So I'm confused how I did this. Yeah, it should be on. I must have somehow toggled the welders and not the sensor. So now they should go off together. Off. On. Yeah. Good. Alright. Bad touring. You murderer. So yes, I am very good at interrupting myself and then never going back to what I was about to say. So I apologize. So yeah, I think we could build skimmer maybe like right here. Maybe we should complete some floor just so we have some space. And we could sit him right here and build him. But to build him, I kind of want to build the crane first. So I want to build some kind of contraption, like a crane-like thing to help build this station, to replicate this quarter of it, in case you're new to the series. So this is kind of the prototype of the build, and then we're going to replicate it when we're satisfied with everything. And I think we're almost ready that we could start kind of replicating the bottom parts. But yeah, we need a crane to do it. So I think I'd like to work on that soon. So I don't know if we should add any, like, it's going to be a lot of pistons, a lot of rotors, which is going to be disastrous, but it might be fun too. But I want to make it detachable so we can just get rid of it if we don't want it anymore. Send it off into space if it acts up badly again. And I would like most components of this build to be kind of merge block docked so that we can unmerge them to take blueprints. So I probably don't want the crane to be part of the blueprint, and it probably wouldn't be because it's on the other end of a piston, I guess, or a rotor, depending on how we do it. But yeah, I thought that would be kind of an interesting way, because with the crane, we could... The idea of the crane is it can go out and forward, or back and forward, and then it has a line of welders that we can lower, possibly, and raise. So we should be able to maneuver the crane over here, because it's hopefully going to be designed to reach out as far as the ship will be, which will be roughly here. So hopefully we can make it extend that far. And yeah, so we should be able to kind of use it, and we can kind of test the crane probably that way as well. So test it using, by building skimmer with it. And kind of tweak the controls maybe on how we want to control it. How are we going to operate the crane? Can we make it automatic? Should we just do manual controls where I sweep the arc, etc.? I'm gonna die! We're good. Alright, everybody. I think we shall say goodbye here. Just be a little chatty episode. Checked out Molar. Discussed bringing skimmer into existence. And all that fun stuff. Checked out some of the new stuff in the update, like the camera. You could definitely use that for combat. Probably exploration too. Maybe. As you're flying closer to an asteroid, you could zoom in. Or if we turn up the render distance, we could zoom in. Though I don't know how much info you could find by looking at the rock, unless you could see what kind of stuff is in it. But it might be nice looking when we see like a twinkling light, right? Twinkling. Look at the twinkling light for me, would you? Twinkling. Oh, you're over there. I knew that. Alright. Where's the twinkle? It's a piece of ore. Is the gravity gen off? Maybe. I don't see twinkles anymore. Oh, there's a twinkle. So what's over there? Oh, that does kind of help. You can definitely tell it's an asteroid and not like a ship, right? It's kind of obscured. And these are kind of like, you could tell the LOD on the asteroids, right? Like it's a very low res asteroid there, but as you get closer it increases. And I mean, you see that just flying around an asteroid. It's not done seamlessly yet. Maybe it will be at one point. Hey, me. Let's play some golf, shall we? Ready? Goodbye, everybody. 4. Where'd he go? And clearly there was gravity because I was standing. Goodbye! There I go. No. Oh, I'm in the... I'm being collected, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time.